Hey, how's it going? This is Josh from Books by Josh, and this is episode 46 of the Books by Josh audio immersion. This episode is titled Failure. Why failure? Well, my last blog post was about my learning at the hackathon, or Hackfest in New York City 2019, and if you read it, guess what? We didn't win. As you know, it's not a spoiler, but it actually spawned this podcast episode. So during the Hackfest, I wrote down two different notes in Google Keep. I need to stop using it, but it's so easy compared to Evernote. Don't get me started on that. But listen, I wrote down two different notes. One was what I learned from Hackfest New York City 2019, and the second one was a quote from Yoda, philosophy. And they intertwined at the end of the thing. So the exact quote from Yoda is failure is the best teacher. We all know the saying. Smart people learn from their mistakes, but smarter people learn from other people's mistakes, which is true. But they're both forms of failure. And that's why I read a lot of biographies, business building books, because I learn how people built their business or their brand or themselves to this certain level and learn from their failures, their mistakes. So let's talk about failure. So let's touch upon my blog post for those who didn't read or those who did read and just want to hear me say it out loud. We had a great product in theory, a way to shop small businesses from your mobile phone or computer, tablet, wherever, on only for New York City, of course, because we can't scale that large past that, and you pick up the item at your convenience. And they'll tell you what stores are available, we'll have the inventory up to date, stuff of that nature. But we had no actual demo, is one of the reasons we lost because that was about 30 or 35 points of 100. So even if I killed the presentation and the business plan part, the maximum points I could get is 65. So if any team got more than 65, they basically passed us. And that's what happened. But it taught me a lot. So I learned that I can't work in a team environment, especially with people that are not giving it 100% and things like that. But I also learned a couple more things from that failure. I learned how to build a business plan, learned how to do a business canvas. I learned how to do a sales pitch in 3 minutes, memorize it perfectly, things like that. But the main thing is I failed. Man, it sucks not taking that prize money. $1,500 split between us would have been about $200 a person. Would have been nice for a weekend for just chilling at Microsoft with free food for the whole weekend, but nah. So, you know what else I failed at in life? A lot of things other than that Hackfest. It's like asking someone out. You're not gonna be perfect at the first time, second time, third, maybe not even the fourth. You're gonna fail a bunch of times, but guess what? You learn what to say and what not to say. When we were learning how to ride bikes, did you ever fall off a bike? I know the first day I ever rode a bike, I hit a hydrant. And I learned something that day from that failure. Don't run into a hydrant. On a serious note, in the terms of investing, let's talk about money now. I've lost money investing in stocks, trying to chase the latest trend. Hey, look, gold's going up because of Brexit. I did that. Hey, look, this stock's going to soar because this one person on Reddit said it will. And I lost that. Hey, penny stocks are the way to go. I lost money. And I learned something through all that. You can't go and chase other people's ideas. You can't go with the masses. I tell everybody, swim against the school of fishes. Be the odd one out. And I've just done what Warren Buffett does and just hold. I don't even look at my stocks half the time anymore unless I'm buying some more. I have drip, so I reinvest to dividends, stuff like that. But the whole thing I'm trying to make a point of saying here is failure is important in succeeding. Let me talk about my story about my first book. That book, I paid the ghostwriters over $200 for it to write it. I also got ISBN to some third party site, spent $100 there. All this stuff, and at the end of the day, couldn't use either. Why? Because that book was horribly written. It wasn't my ideas. It wasn't what I saw happening in the book. And the ISBN, I just couldn't use it. It was a whole thing. And I learned something that day too. Just write your own book. And stop trying to go around the system and use your own thing for ISBNs and stuff like that. Use the proven system. Don't try to reinvent the real wheel. The wheel's round. You can't reinvent it. Just use the wheel. And that's the whole thing about failure. Like, I've had friends who failed at jobs with me, failed at other jobs. Then they find their place in another job and they just soar. I've seen people go from making 6 figures miserable to under 6 figures and be happy just because they change their pace. It's not always about the money. But I've seen people who struggle to hit $60,000 to $90,000 in sales, kill it in another job in sales just because it's a different environment. Because they have more freedom. They are on their own boss, really. They make their own schedule. It's all about finding what works for you. And that's the thing here. Not everybody thinks failure is a good thing. It's good and bad. Nobody likes to lose. But guess what? You lose and you want to come back stronger the next time. It's like Sylvester Stallone says, life's going to hit you. Nobody hits harder than life. It's not about how hard you get hit. It's about how many times you can get up after getting hit, basically. Because you're going to fail a lot in life. You're going to fail to get that promotion. I failed to get that promotion back in the day at one of my jobs. And I joined a network marketing company because of it. You know, you're going to fail a lot. You're going to fail to win that auction on eBay for iPad Pro. Guess what? Everything happens for a reason, they say. Some may believe that, some may not. But with failure, you have to learn from it, because if you don't, you're going to repeat it. And that's something I learned in the past 5 years. Because in the past, I didn't really believe in learning from my failure. And like, I sent that pitch to people, the one I did for Microsoft, and they can't believe that's the same Josh they known. One of the persons I sent it to, I worked with them from 2013 to 2017. And they couldn't believe that pitch in front of 200 people. Hey, I wrote a blog post 2 years ago about overcoming my stage fright, because I have a fear of public speaking. But through failing over and over in speech classes and stuff like that, I learned, hey, guess what? It's not that hard. You just have to do this. You don't have to look at the crowd. You have to look towards the crowd. It's the whole thing, because I studied my failure. And that's the whole thing. If you fail at something, it's all right. Just learn from it. Take notes. Ask people, hey, I understand you didn't pick me for a promotion. Can I ask why? Or you didn't choose me for this job? Why? What can I do better for my next interview? You'll be surprised how many people actually tell you. That's why it's called criticism. It sucks, but guess what? It makes you better. And for Yoda to say in Star Wars, come on. Failure is the best teacher. Because you learn from others and you learn best from yourself. That's why we learn, hey, fire's hot. Because we, as a kid, probably touched fire and we're like, oh, crap, it's hot. And it sticks with us. So that's it, guys, for this episode. It was me ranting about Hackfest and all my shortcomings through life. But guess what? I failed a lot. A lot of people failed a lot. Just learn from it and make it happen, guys. Catch you guys in the next one. See ya.